Hey, what's going on, leaders? This is your leadership coach, Quincy Jackson, here, and thank you for not only making your way back to this channel, but continuing your progress and understanding reasons why you may not be getting the promotion not only that you want, but you probably deserve because you are a high performing leader. Now, we've already talked about a lot of few ideas as it relates to reasons you may not be getting promoted. So what I want to do is continue to dive further into these. I'm going to go about three every single episode so you can get clarity, and also I'll give you some insight on what you can do to overcome these challenges and go forward in whatever your journey is in development and also earning your next promotion. So if your first time tuning in, no worries. You're kind of coming in about three episodes in, but I will encourage you to actually go out and check out the first episode right here, so you can play catch up a little bit and not just jump right into the middle of these particular series. So that's the first one there. And if you already have watched the first and the second one, thank you for tuning in. We're going to continue to progress forward so that you can know some things that you might be dealing with and how to overcome them as it relates to earning your very next promotion. So, another reason, now this comes from the Muse. We talked about this in the first few episodes. I'll actually drop a link below. But if you wanted to read this article for yourself and get more deep dive details, you can. Okay. But another reason why you may actually not be earning your promotion when you think you should is because you expect it. Okay. So, one of the author of this article, I think we talked about it before. Her name is, one second, Brandy Lee. So she talks about that the seventh reason why you may not actually be getting your promotion is because you expect it. And she goes through an example. She says that Sean has made it clear that he expects to be promoted. The problem is, I feel like he expects to be promoted based on only his length of service. There are others on his team that are more focused on their career development, and even though they have not been here as long, it's likely that they will be promoted before him. So think about this. You recognize that in today's environment, tenure is no longer the primary factor in promotion decisions. Okay, I'll say that again. Tenure is no longer the primary factor in promotion decisions and is best left out of any arguments you might make on your own behalf. These days, it doesn't matter whether you've been here 6 months or 6 years, it's all about your contribution. So being passed over for promotion doesn't mean and doesn't need to be the end of the world. In fact, it can be a huge learning opportunity. And sometimes it can also be just the kick in the pants you need to get you started down the right path. So take these lessons, learn from the past, and keep that promotion in your sights. So this is a great point for those out there that believe that after 1 year, after 2 years, the application says they want you to have 2 years of experience and 3 years of experience and 1 year of experience, all of those different things that we use to box ourselves in based on what somebody else has said. And then what we don't like is that once we do that, we aren't as prepared as we thought we would be just because time has gone by. So, what I want to encourage you to do is if you already set up in your mind to be promoted after a certain length of time, the question you need to ask yourself after that is what am I going to do during this time to ensure that I am ready to earn my promotion as soon as that number comes around. Okay, so let's say, for instance, you have a desire to be promoted in the next 4 months, which is very doable, very likely, depending on the company and industry that you work in. Okay, what you need to start focusing on is developing the right skills and making sure that the things you're contributing to the team put you in a position to have your work reflect itself versus you having to justify what you've done based on the time that you've been here. Okay. Now, this is a big problem for a lot of leaders because they stay in one position or one job for so long that they think that they have become a master of that thing when really they've just repeated that job over and over and over, and it may not even be the best in their particular department or in their company at doing that one thing. So what I want you to start focusing on is the leadership skills that are very almost mandatory when you start to look at elevating yourself and promoting yourself to higher level positions. Well, what are some of those skills? We talked about them multiple times in this channel, and we're going to continue to talk about them. They are listening, critical thinking, and giving feedback. Okay, if you can learn how to take where you are right now, apply those three skills to your job and to your department and to the people around you that you work with, bringing people up along with you to elevate your department as a whole, what you're going to find is that it's a lot more beneficial for you because you contribute to the people around you and work to make them better versus just looking to work to make yourself better. All right. So that is a huge key right there. Like I said, check out the link in the description if you want to dive more into the article by Brandy Lee from the Muse about the 7 reasons that you probably aren't getting promoted, and we'll go through those in a different video in greater detail. Okay, let's talk about a couple reasons why you may not be getting promoted. Now, these are 7. This is an article from Out of Your Rut from 7 Dark Reasons Why Good Workers Don't Get Promoted by Kevin. Looks like his name is Merchandite. Okay, he has a lot of comments on here, a lot of shares. So I'm going to definitely drop a link in the description below. So if you actually want to read this for yourself as well, you can. And I think you get great benefit and value from it. So he says that you might be one of the top performers in your company or department, maybe the top performer, but you don't get promoted. Why? It could be that you lack a critical skill or maybe even a significant credential. But just as often, maybe even more often, it's something less objective and less holy. Though we prefer to believe that the world truly works on a merit system and rewards top performers, there are dark reasons why good workers don't get promoted. Here are 7 of them, and I'll bet you can come up with a few more without even thinking about it for too long. Reason number 1, they need you right where you are. Now, this is a very tough one for a lot of people. Every department relies heavily on a small group of people to carry the load. There may be 10 people in a department, but the heavy lifting is done by just 1 or 2. These are the go-to people, and everyone loves them, especially when there is a difficult task to be parceled out or a busy season to be survived. Sometimes go-to people do get promoted, but in too many situations, management wants such people right where they are, keeping the system in balance. Yes, promoting them may be the right thing to do, but it might not happen if doing so would significantly upset the workflow in the department. So now, in my personal opinion, that comes down to a lack of cross-training people and also developing people and giving them more responsibility and empowering them to do more than just the thing that they have become very good at and the go-to person of. But that's more of a business and department cultural problem, not an individual person's problem. Okay. Next, it says that the powers that be may choose to leave you exactly where you are. Instead, they might promote somebody who is less capable because their move won't be as disruptive. So I've never seen that before, where a person stays in a position where they are not allowed to grow because they are so heavily relied upon. That just means that there hasn't been a plan put in place to help other people take over in the event that this person gets promoted, this person leaves, fortunate thing happens like this person passes away. And so there should always be a plan in place, a succession plan in place to make sure that this is not something that people deal with. And so if you are in this position where you are the best of the best of the best in your department and there is no chance for you to get promoted in your particular company, then it might be time for you to move to a different company and seek the promotion outside of the ceiling, if you will, that you've already put yourself underneath. Okay. There's even a name for this phenomenon, as Kevin says. It's called the Peter Principle. It holds that every employee tends to rise one step above their level of competence. It also goes a long way toward explaining why so many managers are mediocre or worse. All right, that's terrible. All right. Let's go over to the next reason, all right? And I'm only going to give you 3 reasons in each video. I'll try to keep these short and concise. I really want you to think about them, understand them. Obviously, go do your research as well, and then execute on some of the things that we go over in this video so that you can hopefully start making your way down that path to earning your next promotion. The next thing they say is that you might be too independent. So it's often true that the most productive people in any organization are also the most independent. That's because independence is a big part of what drives them to be so efficient. It's one of the qualities that creates the much coveted self-starter. But organizations and bosses don't always see independence as a positive trait. They may politely tolerate it because you are so productive, but at the same time, they may not want to reward it either. In an organization, everyone is first and foremost a link in the chain. Systems tend to promote people who recognize their link status and are comfortable with it. Sadly, if you are an innovator, your efforts to change the workflow are not always considered in a positive light. It's a phenomenon of the times that we can refer to as systems over people. And there's a link in there so you can actually dive deeper into that if you choose. We're not going to do this in this video, but just want you to know that if you have never heard of the phenomenon called systems over people, you can definitely deep dive further into that. In such an environment, management may prefer people who are more compliant to those who are self-reliant. The compliant will be promoted precisely because they aren't expected to rock the boat. All right. So you may be too independent. A couple of things that come to mind in that particular reason is that you don't play well with others. Maybe you're so far out in your own stratosphere, your own planet, if you will, that you're not contributing enough to the team, and you also don't seek input and insight and feedback so that how you can do what you do better and how it actually works with all of those that you work around and work with. Okay, so it's good to be independent. I don't agree with that at all. I agree. I think that you should be independent and strong and able to do a lot of things without a whole bunch of support and help from others. However, as it says here, you may be too independent, not contributing enough to the team, not trying to do better with the input of others, and not appearing to be a greater team player just could show those that will need you to be promoted or will need a certain person like you in positions of leadership. It just may show them that you don't work well enough with others and you rely too heavily on yourself. Okay, so you don't want to rely 80% on other people. You also don't rely 100% on yourself. You want to try to find a balance that shows that, hey, I work well with people. I'm willing to work with people. I enjoy working with people. But when the time comes, I know that I can branch off. I can get what I need to get done without relying too heavily on help and assistance from people around me. So how do you balance this out? Well, you have to also start to look at what have you been doing over the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, as far as collaborating and working with other people. If you aren't working with a lot of people as it relates to your current job and current company, current department, then maybe you need to figure out how you can work with people more often. And then if you are working with a lot of people all the time and you aren't getting enough in one solo time by yourself to work on things that only you know that it's going to help you get your promotion, then maybe you need to figure out a proper balance between the two so you can move forward in earning your promotion in that regard. Okay, so we went over just 3 different reasons here. Remember, we're going to come back with these multiple times throughout the week so that you can dive deeper into that. As I said, I'll actually put a link in the description so you can actually read this article for yourself, and then hopefully that gives you more context and clarity about what it is that maybe you're struggling with and reasons why you think you may not be getting promoted. What's interesting is I was just talking to a person on via Messenger just the other day, and I was letting them know that, hey, if you feel like you are compromising your promotion because you don't want to be promoted in the company that you're with, it's probably best that you seek outside the company that you're currently with seek an outside opportunity for promotion, it's because if you're leaning your ladder up against the wrong wall, you're going to feel like you made a wrong decision in the short term for the long term, or made a wrong decision for a long term opportunity in the short term when you could have sought the same energy outside of the company and been more happy, more fulfilled in that regard. So just wanted to share that with you. If anybody's watching this video and you feel like you are in a situation where you're sitting on the fence, you don't know you want to be promoted in this company because you see something going on within the company as relates to culture, it's probably in your best interest to pay attention to that and understand that that's happening for a reason. And if you are aware of it, it's probably because you know that there's something better that you could be doing and a greater impact you could be making in a different company with a better culture. All right, so just wanted to share that with you. Once again, I'm your leadership coach. If you like this video, please go ahead and thumbs up the video. We definitely appreciate that. It helps with the algorithm, helps people to find us, and helps us get our content out there more frequently so people can overcome these reasons that I just outlined in this video. Also, comment below what is the one thing that you think is holding you back from getting your next promotion. And then lastly, I would say share this video with somebody that you think would benefit from it. If you know that they do work well by themselves, they don't work as well with other people, and they could learn how to actually overcome that particular reason that's holding them back from earning a promotion. Okay, so if you do enjoy the content, we ask that you subscribe so that you can be notified when the next video comes out. We drop these videos every single day so we can actually give you information that's relevant to you in your corporate American job, or if you're just an entrepreneur, you want to learn how to be more effective when leading the people that are serving under your team, under your business, and that's under your leadership. Okay, and so we definitely want you to get the support, any support that we can, and hopefully it help you to grow as a leader also. So thank you so much. Remember, we have videos coming out every day. So our main 3 leadership skills that we talk about are listening, critical thinking, and giving feedback, which we believe are the fundamentals of leadership development. And then we talk about principles and wisdom, specifically on how your character builds trust, which is the ultimate foundation that leadership rests upon, so that you can go out and be more effective. Okay, thank you so much. I'm your leadership coach, Quincy Jackson, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.